Hello and welcome everyone to round 12 of Race Department's Formula FG Championship here from the fantastic Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium. Looking forward to, what's this now, the fourth 100% race, distance race, I guess you'd say, of the season. Incredibly important as now after this round as well as the second and final in-season test. But this is really the gateway to the last 5 rounds, next of which is also 100%, which is Italy. Final race, 100%. Doing well here will set you up for it really well. So definitely in that case, incredibly important. And looking at qualifying, well, it started to rain during qualifying, and that really shook up the grid a little bit. Jack Lasky ended up taking pole position, nearly half a second ahead of Rui Martins. James McNamara found himself into third, which probably isn't all that bad, considering that Manolis Sigalakis has been setting the pace this weekend, setting the pace last weekend as well in qualifying. Starts down in 18th. So it could have been a lot worse for some of the front runners. Hugo Rossello in 4th place. Carlos Rodriguez once again doing quite well, getting himself to 5th. Daniel Harvey in 6th. Then a bit of a motley bunch there from 7th through to 10th. Luke Rosella, Joseph Wright, Rob Sharp, Ben Utzer. Ben Utzer is generally there. The other 3 sometimes are, sometimes aren't. And they'll all be looking for a result today, that is for sure. Looking a little bit further back in the field, of course, mentioned Sigalakis in 18th. The Falcons, Tapio Rinho, Jordan Bradford, 12th and 13th. Got to be careful about them today. And then, of course, we saw him last round get onto the podium, but Tim Engbrink, Keranen Motorsport car, starting in 15th, and he's got more distance. And that car has been developed even more from last week as well, so he could be one to watch, that is for sure. With that, everybody, we will get straight into the race now. Nice dry one as well for the Belgian Grand Prix. Here we are then on the grid. Looking forward to the 44 laps ahead of us. Up to 5 lights now. Holding for a moment. Out they go. We are underway then. Coming down to La Source for the first time. Looks like it's a good start there from Lasky. He's going to be able to hold on to it. Unless Martins maybe tries something around the outside. Down the hill they come. Towards Eau Rouge, the Radion. It's Martins and it's Lasky. Down the hill they go, and McNamara wants a little bit of it as well. He's got to be careful. Up we go, up the hill, and it's Martins into the lead. So Lasky has to slot back. Further back, looks like Rodriguez and Harvey have both moved up, so that'll be Rossello moving backwards. And now Lasky looking for the opportunity here to be able to make the overtake. Yes, he will be able to, so he's able to get himself back into the lead of this race. McNamara was having to defend from Rodriguez there. Rossello down to 6th. Rosella hasn't had a great start either. Rinho up a little bit as well. As Ben Utzer having a look there on Rosella. Seven Burner, not too much movement down here. Damian's son has been able to make up a position there on Dovizioso. Sigalakis hasn't had a very good start there either, down a couple of positions. And Matthew Arlington seems to be going heavy, so we'll have a look at the fuel loads in a moment. That could be very important as... So here comes Lasky. Him and Martin seem to be very similar. McNamara actually the lightest of the top 3, and then Rodriguez by far going very light, so he'll be 2-stopping. And he wants to make up some ground, and he wants to make it up soon. Harvey as well, he's going lighter than the others ahead of him. Rossello, understandable why he's not going too well at the moment. He's got Joseph Wright going on a 2-stop, it would seem. Rob Sharp going heavy, but could really be either. Could be 2-stop. Don't know. Utzer has been able to get past Rosella. Rinho, heaviest car I've seen so far, apart from at the back, which was Allington. Saying something. Back to the front then. Successful first lap there for Lasky, and he's been able to just get a little bit of a lead. You won't be too disappointed that it's Rui Martins that's given chase at the moment, though. McNamara seems like he might have a chance down the straight to get past his teammate. Indeed, he'll pull out alongside. And he'll get the job done. So McNamara there moving into second place. Straight shootout between him and Lasky on the cards. Rodriguez starting to show a little bit of the pace in that Challenger. It isn't all quite there. He's a bit lower fueled, but he's going to be struggling to get anywhere, and Harvey is putting him under pressure. And towards Puon, not a normal overtaking opportunity there, but Harvey keen to give it a look. Joseph Wright has moved up there. Rossello, Sharp and Utsa straight onto the back of him. So Ben Utsa definitely looking to make use of some of this speed, as we already have someone going off. As Tapio Rinyaho. So Rinyaho has gone off there at the second portion of the Fania chicane, and then he's put it into the wall as well on the other side as he was trying to flick spin. Lost a bit of front wing, so that's going to be really disappointing for him. That's going to be really harsh as well. It's not going to help his race in the slightest, and Damien Sun here has a problem. It's a brake problem, so he should be able to get it back. That sort of ruined his race as well. Not going to be on the same sort of strategies. Could well be on a 3-stop. Tapio Rinyaho going onto a 2-stop as well. And here we go, Lasky and McNamara. McNamara hunting him down at the moment. Rodriguez still sitting in 4th. Harvey hasn't quite got enough to be able to overtake the Uruguayan racer. Chris Garding there giving chase. To Rosella. Jordan Bradford now the lead Falcon, and probably the most realistic chance of getting anything done in this race. We can see some of the movements. It's really Rossello and Rosella that have moved downwards. Joseph Wright moving up 2 spots. And Brink onto the back there. Oh, Rosella. Heavy defending. Chris Guardian has to be very careful as to how he plays this, because he's got a Falcon right behind that is ready to pounce. No way through there for Guardian. All still stable at the front, and Zoots has actually been able to get himself past Rob Sharp. So he's ticking off what he needs to do at the moment. And he's right onto Hugo Rossello. As it looks like Daniel Harvey's making a move down the inside there as well. Not going to find it, however. Utsa is going to be able to make this move stick. Lecom, no problems whatsoever. Oh, and Lasky's been overtaken there by McNamara. Well, that is such a gap already. That explains why they weren't anywhere near each other. Lasky, oh, putting it off, getting into the wall as well. Gets back onto the racetrack. And straight away having to defend from Rui Martin. So that's not the way that Lasky was hoping his race would go. He wasn't doing all that badly. He seemed like he was in control. Now he's going to have an angry battle pack consisting of the second 2KF1, Carlos Rodriguez, his teammate. Joseph Wright is also interested. Won't be long for Ben Utzer to get onto the back of this as well, you fancy. Look at this continuing. Luke Rosello is actually really, really full of fuel. He is fueled up, but he's not making it easy for anyone. He's not letting anyone pass, and likewise, Chris Guardian isn't allowing that to happen. One of these two... Oh, hang on, that's... Oh, risky. Just saw then Bradford having to try to make a move, trying to make something happen, and couldn't. It's actually alongside Chris Guardian as they went through Blanchimont, and yeah, can't stress that that is a risky play. Still, Chris Guardian can't find a way through. Going to start to impact a few races, not least his own. Unable to get past the heavily laden Profelli is not the way that he was hoping this race would be going. And we find Hugo Rosello. Suspension problem there on the apex. Which could explain dramatic lack of speed. I mean, it's fair to say that, you know, there are some cars around that are lighter fueled and everything, but this is something else entirely. So I completely missed him pulled off to the side. That's why it's just off the side of the screen. So incredibly unfortunate there for Hugo Rosello. Would have been looking at this race with hope. It's not his home race, of course. There is a French Grand Prix. It's not far away though either. There you go. So Lasky and Martins have been able to break away from this group, which Rodriguez is still holding Harvey. It's holding up Joseph Wright. And it's not quite getting to it just yet though. Rob Sharp has been released as a result. And then this battle, which is still going on. Nobody getting past anyone. Rosella with some 25 odd laps. Chris Guardian, not much to go. That's Stefan Bernard just running wide. I thought I saw engine smoke. It might have just been dust from the gravel trap. Or, okay, a slight lock up there. That explains that, so. He's still in the race, Stefan Bernard. Oh, but he's just lost a couple of positions there. Corns and Engbrink working together well there to be able to move through. Yeah, this battle. Oh, there we go. Rosella making the mistake there at La Source, and that will be Chris Guardian getting through. No doubt you'd imagine Bradford will get past fairly quickly, possibly even down Kemmel Straight this lap. That will allow for Engbrink, for Corns, Berner. They should be able to make their way past Profelli as well at some stage. It's actually Dovizioso in the background, maybe looking for an overtake on Berner. Damien Sun with the fastest lap of the race so far. There goes Bradford. There goes Corns. Berner is able to hold off Dovizioso. Interesting couple of moves there. Damien Sun, there you can see he's still on that really lightly fueled strategy. He's probably going for fastest lap. That would be the possibility. McNamara here just eking away there from Jack Lasky. It's got a little bit less fuel, so Lasky might be able to make his way forwards a bit later. Just after the pit stop. Rui Martins losing a bit of ground there. Rodriguez still defending from Harvey. Joseph right now does have Ben Utzer on his backside. Do have to be careful as Sigalakis can pass Danny Totos there, as we can see on the telemetry. Rob Sharp isn't too far away from getting onto the back of that pack, of this pack I should say as well. There's the chance now for Daniel Harvey. Doesn't seem like it will be. Ducking and weaving, but just not enough there. Likewise for the drivers behind, Damienson continuing recent run of getting the fastest lap, at least at this point. Engbrink's gone back past Corns, both gone past Rosella. Well, that's happened a long time beforehand. Stefan Burnham next in line. Davizioso, that's maybe looking for a little bit of help from his teammate to be able to get past the Dutchman. As Carlos Rodriguez there, just noticed on the telemetry that he's losing position. So what's happened here? He's coming down towards Fania. Just gone in a little bit too hot, gone in very deep, gotten a little bit of the wall, and around he goes. Not a great spot for him to be stricken in. Car's going to have to take a little bit of evasive action. Through comes Engbrink, Corns. Oi! There goes... I think that'll be Rosella. Oh, and now here we go, getting into a little bit of bumping there. I think that's Allington, and funnily enough, Rosella actually ends up getting through on them quite well, and Sigalakis losing more positions. Rodriguez, 4th, down to 19th. Not the way he was hoping that to go, that is for sure. There's some 38 seconds between him and his teammate. And now it's 7, so he's lost about 30 seconds. Through all of that. Stefan Berner doesn't have to worry too much, as Luke Rosella, of course, came in very hot as well into Fania. Most importantly, that gives Daniel Harvey the opportunity now to get on with his race. He wants to be able to catch up to Rui Martins. The Constructors' Championship, I believe, is 26 points, so that's still up for grabs for either team. Drivers' Championship is Jack Lasky being behind now by... I think it's 54 points. So he's got a lot of work to do. That's not going to help with McNamara. Just controlling the pace at the moment at the front. Has not retired yet this season. Even through all the 100% races, Lasky looked like he was going on towards almost a certain title, and luck has not been on his side, is the easiest way to put it. So Davizioso and Totos there, they're both running a little bit lighter than Stefan Berner. They'll be looking forward to trying to get past the Dutchman, but it'll be easier said than done. Harvey is slowly being able to bring a little bit of time, a little bit of the gap to Martins in. Does have to worry about Joseph Wright. However, Joseph Wright should be pitting fairly soon. Possibly even next lap. Benutza won't be too far behind that either. He'll be the lap after, you imagine. Joseph Wright now. He needs this overtake. He needs it soon. Two race wins this season. It's been a standout performance. Fantastic rookie season for him. He's been a bit flat in recent races. See what he can do. So now he's got one lap before he pits. Martins is getting caught up by Harvey here, there's no doubt about that. Lasky, in a similar vein, is losing time to McNamara. There are reasons for it though. Fuel loads especially. Rob Sharp trying to get onto the back of this. He's a bit too far away at the moment. 3.1 seconds. Chris Guardian. And he's got Jordan Bradford soon behind him. Tim Engbrink has been able to clear away from Nathan Corns. You know, Danny Totos has been able to get past Stefan Berner as well. There's Davizioso, Omar Saeed, Matthew Alex and Luke Rosella once again on this defensive duty. Sigalakis behind, and interestingly enough, the Apex is just not looking like they're suited to this track today. It's just something about them. Doesn't seem too right. Now Joseph Wright looking for the overtake, but there's no need for it. Ducks to the inside, but he's there for a completely different reason. And in he comes. Hootser will go through. So, first pit of the race. Legitimate, like planned pit. Chris Guardian coming in as well. That releases Jordan Bradford. And they come Joseph Wright. Going to be able to get himself out. Very importantly, out ahead of Luke Rosella, it would seem. So, successful stop there for the Raven West driver. And he's the one that we're going to be watching. Chris Guardian. Oh, he doesn't want to get into that again. Just keeps himself ahead of the Profeli at the moment. But Rosella wants it. Is Rosella going to get it? Yes, he will. So Luke Rosella being able to get a position back there. Oh, no, but he's gone straight off. Coming back on. Oh, straight into Damien Sun. And for once this season, it's not Damien Sun's fault in the slightest. They both are able to walk away from that one, but that was a scary one. Off at a speed. Spearing back onto the track. Incredibly close, but they do get away with it. So Harvey continuing chasing down Rui Martins. Here comes Ben Utzer now. Coming in his lap. For his pit stop, sorry, I should be saying. Who we're watching is, of course, Joseph Wright. Danny Toto's coming in at the same time. Dre Dovizioso, a few extra laps. Saeed as well. There is Joseph Wright. You can see Ben Utzer just starting to get away now. He's got a bit of a head start there on Wright, but Wright has the speed. Down the hill they come. It's going to be a close one as Utzer accelerates up. He's got it at the moment, but you feel Joseph Wright, if he gets close enough, might be able to get into the slipstream down the Kemmel Straight. At this moment in time, it would seem Ben Utzer has done just enough. Down the Kemmel they come. And indeed, Ben Utzer, slightly less fuel put on board, so you expect him to also maybe even just pull away a little bit here from Joseph Wright. A good move there by the BRT team. It's currently 12th there for Utzer, with pit stops for a lot of people still to come through as well. Not least, we do have a couple of question marks on some of these drivers up towards the front. Is it a one or is it a two-stop strategy? It could just be a long first stint and then coming home quite quick. It could be one stops. Could be two. Very hard to know. That's the thing with the 100% races, that there's just so much more that can go on through the race. Stefan Berner just looking to keep Dovizioso behind. Dovizioso will be in at the end of the lap. Omar Saeed a lap later. Here's Ben Utzer. Sigalakis will probably be a lap away from the pits. Oh, and a problem there for Dovizioso. Oh, there it goes. There goes the engine. It's on fire. I was going to say maybe he's going to be able to get back. Seem not. Engine giving off some serious smoke signals. When does it cut out? Will it impact Utzer? No. There it goes there. Joseph Wright should just be able to sneak around the outside. Didn't make it easy on him. Not sure if there was actually a touch there or not on Dovizioso. Do not think so. So, looked pretty nasty, but not the case. And Dovizioso out there, engine has blown. That's the end of his race. Not going too well. As Martins and Harvey now. Harvey surprisingly having a lot easier time getting past the 2KF1 than he was getting past Carlos Rodriguez. So he makes the overtake there, Daniel Harvey. DTK into second and third, with pit stops and strategy still to come. It'll be Rob Sharp coming in pretty soon. Sorry, this lap actually. Incredibly soon. Jordan Bradford should be the lap after. Angbrink going a little bit longer. Corns next lap. Burner maybe 2. How is this going to work then for Optima, as both of them are running their cars incredibly dry. I mean, in particular, Saeed will be on fumes nearly. Sharp into the pit lane. In particular, I want to be watching Saeed, making sure he's not going to come in, or will he? No, he won't. So Saeed will go out another lap, and like I said, that car will be running dry. So Sharp has come in. Here comes Utsa and Wright. I think Utsa's going to get past. Wright might not be able to. That seems to be the case. Rob Sharp is a little bit closer to Joseph Wright than Ben Utsa was. Maybe not. So there you go. Rob Sharp making up time there very nicely. Couldn't do anything about the speed that Ben Utsa had. The German and his team obviously opting for track position, which has worked in the past. Worked very successfully for them. I think, was it the French Grand Prix? Not too sure. So Rob Sharp doing well there. Matthew Arlington still going along at the moment as well. James McNamara will surely be next lap coming in. Daniel Harvey's in this lap. Jordan Bradford next lap, you'd imagine. Even Corns. Oh, look at Saeed. So out comes Harvey. He should be able to hold his position ahead of Ben Utsa. It's a quick stop for Harvey as well, so they're looking to try to get a little bit more track position ahead of the final stint. So as we return in the commentary box, a little bit of a phone break. And we see that McNamara has been able to pit. Well ahead of Daniel Harvey. Jordan Bradford has come back out ahead just of Rob Sharp. Behind Ben Utzer at the same time. So there'll be a intriguing battle to watch as they come down the Camel Straight. Is there enough on the Optima to make the overtake? You had a feeling that it maybe wasn't enough, and that is the case. Not enough there for Rob Sharp to keep the position. Nathan Corns has pitted. He's behind Danny Tothos. Bree Martins will be the next to pit here. Jack Lasky going an extra lap. Has a comfortable lead over the Portuguese driver. There he goes. Martin's coming in. Mainly, so Stefan Berner as well in the background there. So it's Daniel Harvey that we're watching in relation to Martins. Bit of a head start down the pit lane, but Harvey's coming by really quickly. Around La Source, Harvey is through. Well ahead of Rui Martins. Ben Utzer not close enough there either to catch him, but that is a net result there for Harvey. However, he does have to be careful as he's a little bit lighter than Martins. That could impact in the final stint. Matthew Allington yet to pit, but should be going soon. That'll surely be a one-stop. Stefan Berner comes out just ahead of Nathan Corns. Behind Danny Totos. Lasky now, along with Engbrink. Final two towards the front to pit. And Lasky will come in. Engbrink will chase him down. We'll see McNamara. McNamara going quite light as well here, so is that going to maybe impact the decisions of the DTK crew? McNamara back through into the lead of the race. It's as easy as that, really. Lasky a long way behind. But he is going to be going heavier. That is crucial. Daniel Harvey might actually be the one. He might catch up to his teammate. And wouldn't that get a little bit awkward if they were to be fighting each other overly much? That could bring Martins back into the race a little bit. So Matthew Allington, the last one to pit in the top 10. Arguably one-stop strategy. Engbrink there's come out. Look at, he's gone very light for his middle stint. And he's just out ahead of Chris Guardian, so Karen Motorsport opting for a little bit of track position there as well. Tapia needs to have his, or what is effectively his second pit stop of the race. After he did spin off quite early, lose a front wing as well as a result. Sigalakis finally through there on Rosella. You'll be expecting McNamara to be definitely increasing the gap with his lighter load. Currently at 7.9 seconds back to Jack Lasky. There you go, you can't see it there. Getting around 0.3 of a second. As what's happened there to Daniel Harvey, a problem. It would seem to be electrical, however. So he should be able to get back, but this is going to be incredibly annoying for the DTK team. Boots there having to get a little bit closer than what he would have wanted to. Now, does this mean Daniel Harvey, are they just going to fill it up and send him off for the rest of the race? I think that's the best decision they can make. Ooh, Matthew Allington, Tim Engbrink. Oh, somehow those two not completely spinning out. So these two have been battling for a while. Engbrink ends up getting the bump and run done. So out comes Daniel Harvey, Tapia Rinho in at the same time. And no, it does not seem like they have opted to go for the one last pit. Maybe there wasn't enough distance. The car wasn't set up for it. Who knows? But they've not gone for it. You'll be making another pit, Daniel Harvey. Questionable decisions there by DTK. And as Jordan Bradford there has been able to get past Ben Utzer. It's also allowing Rob Sharp to get close to the German. Seems to be... Was there some sort of a mistake? May have been just before that, but... It doesn't make sense as... I mean, Rob Sharp might just be going that well at the moment. Oh, maybe through here. No, still not. So Ben Utzer, understandably, going to be losing a bit of time to Jordan Bradford, but losing a lot of time to Rob Sharp as well behind him, which could impact later in the race for him. He's running in 5th at the moment, Utzer, but it's going to be difficult to hold on to that one after strategy comes through. Rob Sharp, Joseph Wright behind. They'll be stopping a little bit later, have less time to have to stop in the pit box. As well, we've seen this season, we've seen this race, that the overcut sometimes works quite well. So Matthew Arlington has pitted away. But Omar Saeed here. Looking racy. There's Daniel Harvey. There's Matthew Arlington. He is set to go for the rest of the race though. See how far up he'll be able to get himself. Saeed's actually been able to get past Corns there, so just look at the gap straight away. Perhaps a little mistake here from Corns. Yeah, so he runs wide. Understandable how he's lost that much ground. Which now puts him under pressure from Daniel Harvey. Harvey has got a bit of speed on him at the moment. Understandably, it's a good car. Fresh tyres, low fuel load. Angry driver. And it won't take long for him as Saeed then moves up to 12th place. Will be difficult to find himself into this top 10, Saeed. There's some good racing cars up ahead of him. As we have gone past half distance now. Oh, Jordan Bradford. Oh, running really wide. Struggling. Eventually gets it back on there. So he's lost a little bit of time there, but Utsa doesn't seem to have quite the pace in the BRT as the Falcon does, so it probably won't be too much of a problem for him. Lasky, in fact, it doesn't look like he's lost as much time as you may have expected. He's only at 8.5 seconds, so McNamara isn't pulling away by a whole amount. So Lasky's still going to have himself an option late in this race to battle with. That's my feeling. You'll find a couple of seconds, he may even start to be pulling in the Australian. Here's Chris Guardian. That's Danny Totos. And that's the move done before the corner even arrived. For the Karen and cars, it does seem that all they're really worried about is just hoping that the Aston Martin engine will continue ticking over. Doesn't go up in smoke. That seems to be the only thing that really is going to impact them. And it seems the other Karen car is on the back of Joseph Wright in the background. Here's Stefan Byrne. You could just see Chris Guardian up ahead. And there's Omar Saeed! He was going so well. The Toyota engine there has given up the ghost. And a sad moment there for him. Also, going to definitely be impacting the rest of his season. It's been really difficult for him and for Optima in the past couple of races. This is not going to help it. They do not need a retirement now. So that's going to hurt him. There's Joseph right there. There goes Engbrink. McNamara. Only have a handful of laps before you'll be needing to pit. Jack Lasky is somewhere around 4 laps heavier. As Harvey has been able to get past Nathan Corns towards the front. Harry Martins 6.2 seconds away from Jack Lasky, and he's holding his own against Jordan Bradford, it would seem, just for the meantime. Sigalakis really struggling at the moment. Here comes Rinyaho, and he's chasing down Rosella. Currently the final car on track. Oh, and here we go. Problem now for Rui Martins. It could be any one of a number of problems. Maybe electrical as well for him. Sigalakis is in the pit lane. I think that was planned. Martins, though, has a long way to go to be able to get back to the pits. And goes Bradford. Just as I was talking about, Martins seemed like he was holding his own against Jordan Bradford. Commentator's curse coming out, I guess you could say. As Ben Utzer looks like he'll be coming in this lap as well, so he'll be wanting to just get past Martins before they get to the pit lane. He should be able to. He's going to go around the outside of Blanchimont. Great move there by Utzer. Superb move there by the German. As Martins will get back, Sharp will nearly take him out. Martins gets in, Engbrink is in at the same time, Utzer's in. So Bradford gets away. A few others will as well. See, Rui Martins, very quick stop there. Ah, that explains why they're going to pit him again. It's the same deal as DTK. They could have made it to the end. Ben Utzer has just put in enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. I can't fathom as to why Martins and 2KF1 have not put in enough fuel. Engbrink as well. So Martins is going to skip away for a moment. It doesn't really mean all that much. Harvey's found himself back inside the top 10 for at least a brief moment. And here's the real clincher, that McNamara is going to be coming in this next lap. So what's that? 2-lap difference. I seem to fancy that they won't be making a third stop in this car. So questionable decision making there at the Australian team. But that will help some drivers be able to get themselves a little bit closer towards the points. Namely Stefan Berner, Daniel Harvey. Chris Guardian, it might be enough for him to stay in. Stefan Berner looking really good at the moment. Just hunting down Chris Guardian. Should see a little bit of advantage as well when it comes to the pits. Stefan Berner might be able to make up the time necessary. Similar with Harvey. And Harvey just looks so good at the moment. He's going along really well. There's Martins. He's already out to 3.4 second gap over Benutza. But he's got to pit again. So he needs to catch up the corns to Harvey to be giving himself a chance. You know, even Berner and Guardian. This is around where 10th is, somewhere around here. Long way behind for him. Danny Totos now will dive into the pits. McNamara's been in. So now the race is on for Jack Lasky. He has himself, what, 3 laps? 4 laps, maybe? Four of the best for the DTK driver if he wants to get himself back into this race. That will be crucial for him. McNamara has Bradford in between them. Rob Sharp running just behind in the Optima. Joseph Wright will be in this lap. Stefan Berner now has been released. Don't think he was ever really held up. Martins, though, does have some serious speed in that car at the moment. He will be coming home really strong. No doubt about that. I mean, that's what's going to happen when you're pitting with, what, like 7 laps to go in the race? Same with Harvey, though, as well. Both of them. Here's Benutza. Somewhere around 4th or 5th at the moment. Has Tim Engbrink bearing down on him. Race to the flag. Danny Totos is not too far away from that one either. Chris Guardian, bit further away is the nicest way of saying it. Matthew Allington, long way out of this one. Trying the one-stop strategy, there just isn't quite enough pace in the car to make it work. Rob Sharp will be coming in end of the lap. Joseph Wright is in now. Stefan Berner goes through. As does Daniel Harvey. Both of them will be pitting. As will Nathan Corns in the other Raven West. Ree Martins back inside the top 10. Here's Benutza. Tim Engbrink all over the back of him. Engbrink looking for the overtake. Down the inside he goes and he gets the job done. So he's still hunting that podium position. Benutza back in position. Still ahead of Joseph Wright at the moment, so he'll be happy about that. Oh, and Danny Totos. He's gone in hard there. What has happened to the Hungarian? Oh no, there is a problem for him. That explains that. Very smart work by him there, going into the wall hard. It takes off a wheel, but he's able to rebound it back into the wall. Got to be careful, Matthew Allington. No, it doesn't look like there was anything left on the track. That's unfortunate there for the Hungarian. There goes the car. There was a brake failure there for Danny Totos. Explains why he couldn't stop before he went into the wall. Oh, and Manolis Sigalakis has gone out at the same time. Throttle has gone there on the apex, and that explains why he had little speed. So throttle jam or something like that, and he's been able to park it in pit lane exit for the GT racing. Seems like they're just going to leave the car there as well. Must have the handbrake on or something akin to that. Not rolling back anytime soon. So we have some pit stop action now. Sharp is in, Berner, Harvey. Engbrink coming out, and Sharp has been able to get the jump on those two. It's a good move there by Rob Sharp and the Optima team. Gets himself out ahead of Engbrink, ahead of Utsa. Stefan Berner coming out in 9th place there. Ahead of Chris Guardian. Here comes Daniel Harvey. He'll be chasing down Guardian for the final point. Nathan Korn's a little bit further away. There's Allington. Rinho as well further behind. Lasky going to be going another lap after this. How has his pace been looking? That is the question. He has somewhere near a 17-second lead over James McNamara. Don't think that'll quite be enough for him. Ree Martins is back into 4th place. He's got to pit again. Some 30 seconds behind Jordan Bradford as well. So 5 seconds ahead of Rob Sharp, who's... Well, we're going to see now as Jordan Bradford comes back out. 5.4 second pit stop. Is Martins isn't even going to get there in time. Let alone Rob Sharp. So Bradford coming back out there. Back into 3rd place there for the Brit. So with Martins and Lasky to stop, but only Martins is going to impact any of the top 10. There you go, 17 seconds. Lasky has over McNamara. Should be comfortably out of Bradford. How close can he get to McNamara? What sort of pace can he have? There is McNamara, so he's already onto the main straight. Lasky hasn't even made it to the pit box. And through will go James McNamara. Back into the lead of this race. And well ahead there of Jack Lasky. It's McNamara entering the camel. You could just see him going down the hill there. Will we see him in the background? There you go. So it's the length of the camel straight. It's about, what, is it 1.3 kilometers? Camel? I have to look that up. And the gap has stayed almost exactly the same as to what it was before the pit stops. For Jack Lasky, it's still around that 8.5 second mark. Crucially, Jordan Bradford has himself a small lead over Rui Martins, who's got probably 2 laps before he stops. As we have a yellow flag, it's not ahead. Must be behind. And oh goodness, Ben Utzer, you could not script it. There's the mistake. I saw Bradford, someone do it earlier. They got away with it. Radio silence. Is that from the driver? Is that from the manager? You just won't know. And Ben Utzer out of the race. Yeah, it's a sad moment for Ben Utzer when he, that would have been the last lap, I think, in the 75% distance, so he might still have found himself in the wall on the last lap. He just wasn't sure of what distance he was doing this round. That will mean extra position for Joseph Wright, for Stefan Berner, Chris Gardy and Daniel Harvey back into the points then for DTK. And he's looking to be able to get past Chris Guardian. Gets it done before the corner. Good move there by Daniel Harvey. So Martin's pitting in at this lap. It'll be the final pit stop that we have to worry about. That is planned, even though this is somewhat unplanned. See where that spits him out. Fancy it'll be somewhere around... Well, it'll be in between Guardian and Corns, I would imagine. There's Sharp and Engbrink coming through now. Fried, Stefan Berner. Martin's only just gone to the pit boxes. Through come Harvey and Guardian. Corns at the top of the straight now as well. Martin's going to come out, though, just in 10th place. And Lasky is actually chipping away at McNamara. It doesn't seem to be anywhere near enough, but he is chipping away. Daniel Harvey and Chris Guardian now still battling on. Fantastic, has a bit of fight in it still. Martin's there, as expected, between Guardian and Corns. Been unfortunate for Rinyaho today. He's shown some good pace, but just doesn't have any when it matters. Doesn't have enough, I should say. He's can't get himself any further up. Luke Rosella has had a long, tedious day. A couple of mistakes as well didn't help his cause. Lasky is actually pulling this down. He has himself around 9 laps to go, however. He needs to be getting near a second per lap. We'll see what's going on as they come up the hill now. 30-0. And 29-9. So not making up too much ground there, that is for sure. Sharp looking to hold Engbrink behind. And that is slowly ticking down. Here's Joseph Wright. Stefan Bernard does have to be careful of Daniel Harvey coming through. Martin's there. Rinyaho has caught and passed Matthew Allington. Lasky down to 6.6, which is roughly half a second in that lap. He has 8 to go and he's 6.5 seconds behind. Engbrink continuing to whittle down this gap. Stefan Bernard not making any forward progress. Unlike Daniel Harvey, he was absolutely making forward progress. Chris Guy, Ree Martins is on a charge here. .2, 29.9. There goes another 0.3 of a second towards Martins. Here are the challengers having a little battle between themselves. Rodriguez and Sun. Lasky getting another couple of tenths, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be quite enough. Needs a little bit of help from McNamara, a little bit of a mistake, running wide. Losing maybe 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds. Or just spinning off completely. Is really the only way Lasky's going to be able to get McNamara now. There's Engbrink. Right there on Rob Sharp's gearbox. You have a yellow flag briefly somewhere. Ooh, Damien Sun. Whee, Damien Sun. Take off. Oh, a little bit of a bump. Around he goes. Cheeky move there. I'm not sure how happy the boss will be, considering that was the boss that you just tapped up the backside. Awkward moment, that's for sure, for that team, but I suspect they'll be okay with it. No harm done. No positions lost, no retirements. No necessary pit stops. Sharp still just holding Engbrink behind in the meantime. Actually gained a little bit of time there, so I think Engbrink might have made a move. Would have been rebuffed by British driver. Oh, Rob Sharp, what has happened to him there? Going along absolutely fine. Through the bus stop chicane. Ooh. Is that transmission? I've only ever seen transmission failures happen that quickly. He's parked that one straight up into the wall. An astonishing moment here in this motor race. There's hope to find it out in a moment. Got a marshal to it? Almost. As the cars come through. Not too sure what's happening there. It does seem to be rolling away, however. They might want to go and catch that car before it gets too far away. Oh, there we go. Marshall's moving. And indeed, a transmission failure there for Rob Sharp. Instantaneously it goes. Engbrink was very lucky not to go into the back of him there as McNamara starts now, 5 laps remaining. Jack Lasky has been slowly chipping away at McNamara, but it's really not enough. Now Engbrink doesn't have Sharp to have to get past. He's a bit lonely there in 4th. Joseph Wright, 6.5 seconds behind. Jordan Bradford, 17 or 18 seconds up the road. Stefan Berner still has this problem with Daniel Harvey, slowly closing down on him. Chris Guardian now. Running in 8th, seems like he's going to be okay. Martin's chasing him down, however. Nathan Corns has himself 10 seconds to Tapio Riniho, so unless Tapio straps on some afterburners, maybe a jet engine as well. Don't suspect there'll be too much happening from him. Indeed, very little happening at all. Now retirement gives Luke Rosella a chance to get to 15th. Here are the movers and shakers then so far this race. Ree Martins haven't moved down 7 spots. Probably due to unforeseen problem in the car more than anything. Stefan Berner up 8, not too bad for him. Engbrink and Bradford up 11 and 10 spaces respectively. Even Nathan Corns up from 17th, going to get himself a point at this rate. McNamara up 2, Lasky down 1, the important ones. Harvey as well, having moved down 1. He had a unforeseen problem as well. Really did impact the DTK race. They could have actually found themselves with some handy points. Same, though, could be said for 2KF1. After Harvey's problem, DTK could say the same. You know, they could have had a good haulage of points. As unless my eyes deceive me, though, I thought I saw something actually changes. There we go. Martins has gotten past Chris Guardian, so there you go. That's probably what I saw. Through goes the Portuguese driver, and now he's only 1 place behind Harvey. Nathan Gorn's actually pulling away from Riniho, so the race just taking its toll there on the Falcon. There's 3 laps remaining now. McNamara going for what I believe is his 3rd straight victory. In addition, he has not retired. He has not failed to finish a race now all season, and there's a problem there for Chris Guardian. Oh, unfortunate for him. So he was fine when Martins went past. He's absolutely not fine at this point. He's so close to the pit. They're asking for him to try to get back, but it's just not going to make it. It's not transmission, I don't think. So Tapio Riniho is going to get himself into the points here. Chris Guardian should be classified from there, but it's a loose wheel that's ended up doing it for him. The race is done and dusted for Chris Guardian today. Would have been, what, it'll be 4 laps from the finish. Classified, he was on his 4th final lap. It's looking like it's going to be a good day then for Falcon. Double points finish. Stefan Berner still holding Harvey behind. And at the moment he's doing enough. It's down to a second now between the two. Ree Martins is not close, but he's not far away either. They should battle. Hold each other up a little bit. He might be close enough. BRT Renault versus DTK Renault at the Camel. Stefan Berner's actually made up some time there onto Joseph Wright once again. And he's continuing to as well. If he can get himself into the slipstream somehow of the Raven West before the final lap, he might have himself a real good opportunity. He's got to be careful though, because Harvey is not far away. Harvey just needs to just chip away a little bit more. He'll be in the slipstream up the Kemmel, and that'll be that. McNamara now will start his final lap here in Belgium. Daniel Harvey continuing to chip away, and I think he'll almost be close enough now, especially after this long uphill slug. DTK just handling it a little bit better than the BRT, I feel, at the moment. And across the line they come. Harvey, 0.7 of a second behind. Should be close enough. Joseph Wright looks like he'll be safe. Daniel Harvey, is he close enough? Maybe he isn't. Maybe he is not quite there. That is the case. He needed one more lap, you'd say, Daniel Harvey. With Corns in 9th there, Riniho 10th. Brief moment there, just having to take off, but we're back, and there we go. Sorry, McNamara has actually already gone across the line. Lasky across in second. Bradford going to take third place as well there for Falcon, so really good response for him as well. Engbrink going to come through there for fourth place. Joseph Wright should have fifth wrapped up. Stefan Berner closing that one down, but won't be anywhere near enough. And Harvey as well, close to the back of Berner, but won't be able to get past the Dutchman. Ree Martin's not a bad effort considering the late problems they had in that car. Comes across the line. There's Nathan Corns now. Going to get 2 points. Tapio Riniho, astoundingly, will get himself a point as well today, considering that he had that very early spin off the track. Managed to put it into the wall on the other side as well, having to pit. Matthew Allington close to points yet again. 11th for him today. Carlos Rodriguez will take 12th ahead of his teammate Damien Sun. Little collision earlier. Cheeky move. They get away with it, and Luke Rosella did not have the pace today, and that sort of makes sense. The thing was heavier than the QE2. Like, just no speed whatsoever. I think the QE2 might have actually been faster. McNamara, though, yet another victory on his way to possibly the title. 4.8 seconds ahead of Jack Lasky. Jordan Bradford on the podium for Falcon. Tim Engbrink quite a distance behind there in the Carolina Motorsport car. He gets fourth place. Good couple of rounds for him. Joseph Wright for Raven West in fifth, just ahead of Stefan Berner and Daniel Harvey. Rui Martins to make it all of them within about 4 seconds. Nathan Corns in ninth. Tapio Riniho. Crazy race for him, but he gets there. And as we mentioned, Allington, Rodriguez, Sun, and Rosella. Chris Guardian will be classified 4 laps down for Fantastic. He was in the points. It's unfortunate for him. Rob Sharp, he was in the points. Transmission failure. Ben Uta, he was in the points. Put it into a wall. Danny Totos, he was in the points. Lost his brakes. Manolis Sigalakis was not in the points. Unfortunately for him, and the throttle having let go there. Omar Saeed getting close to the wall, getting close to the points. Engine let go, same as Davizioso. His engine sprung an oil leak. Hugo Rossello's suspension failed there. Fast lap of the race. Tim Engbrink there. Carolina Motorsport, along with Danny Totos, did not even see when that was, so they picked that one up. R3. That is how they moved around Jack Lasky. That early mistake that let McNamara through, proven to be quite costly. Rodriguez dropping down like a stone there. I think he spun around as well, didn't he? Harvey, unfortunate for him. Second pit stop really impacted his race. Luke Rosella just looking at him drop down, and then really was just waiting for people to retire. Tapio Riniho up a little bit. Down he goes. Gets himself back up. And Brink moving up. Jordan Bradford as well. There you have it. So that was the Belgian Grand Prix, everybody. Important. Next round is the second in-season test. Sorry, the next session is the in-season test. So if you want to get your buys in, if you want your buys to count for that in-season test, you will have to get them in before the marketplace deadline, at which point they will be counted for the test, and you'll be able to use the rewards afterwards as well ahead of next round in Italy. If you do not make your purchases before the test, that is okay. You'll still be able to make them afterwards. They just won't be counted towards the test. And the marketplace remains open the entire time, but there is the deadline. So the deadline will be 10 AM Sunday, as per ever. 10 AM Sunday. If you make your buys before that, that's fine. If you make your buys at 10:01 Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, it will not count towards the test. It will only count towards the Italian Grand Prix. But there you go. So hopefully everybody enjoyed that. I say that tongue-in-cheek, I'm not sure too many people will. But even so, we do hope that we'll be able to see you guys next time.